Let's go live now to the Finance Minister, Katy Gallagher. Minister, thanks for your time. This unemployment rate today, obviously you never want to see people losing their jobs, but is it a bit of a two-edged sword in the sense that the stronger and more resilient labour market probably means we don't see rate cuts until later?
Thanks for having me on, Kieran. Good to see you. Look, the numbers today show that the ACT economy, the Australian economy, the jobs market, the labour market is extremely resilient. So we've still got an unemployment rate with a 3 in front of it, which is very low by historical standards. We've seen some softening in the last month, but that was off a record jobs creation in February. And, it's in line with expectations as we've seen the crunch of interest rates and growth slow, that we would expect to see a small uptick in unemployment. But again, I think anyone who's been watching the labour market for any length of time will realise just how resilient and strong our labour market remains.
Yeah, it does indeed. What are the implications, though, for the budget specifically out of these numbers? Does it also mean a boost for the budget bottom line, the fact that the labour market continues to be so strong?
Well, certainly, the labour market the strength of the labour market has been one of the reasons that we've seen, the revenue upgrades that we've been seeing. It's certainly a big component of that, along with, of course, our commodity prices. And as we're seeing commodity prices decrease, the fact that our labour market remains strong is not only good for anyone who's working or who wants a job, it also has a positive impact on the budget, which is good because we've got a lot of calls, as you know, on the budget and, getting the budget into good shape, which we've been doing over the past 2 years, has been an important part of our economic plan.
Well, the IMF Fiscal Monitor had Australia up at ranked second now in terms of the strength of the budget bottom line. I guess there's a bit of vindication you would feel as the Finance Minister for that, but it came with a bit of a warning as well that if China falters, countries like ours need to keep that in mind. Is that still part of your mindset heading into the budget next month?
Absolutely. I think the global economic conditions are very uncertain. There's a lot of instability. You've drawn attention to China quite rightly. Obviously, there's the events in the Middle East, a war in Europe. All of these have impacts and consequences that we have to be mindful of. And we are, of course, mindful of them as we're making those final decisions. So that's part of it. The rest of it are decisions about what the decisions, I guess, we control here locally about how to manage the budget. As you say, the IMF Fiscal Monitor has had good news for us overnight, saying that, we are, and our decisions have strengthened the budget. We're second. I think last year we were 14th. So that shows that the work we've been doing to find savings, to repair the budget, to lower debt, to bank the revenue when the upgrades have come in, has been an important part of strengthening our budget and getting it ready, should we need to, again, use that budget to make sure we're supporting the Australian economy. And, that's part of our thinking from 18 months ago. It remains the same today.
The Greens are also saying that Labor needs to look at things like student debt, a pausing of indexation of student debt. Is that something you're open to, given, as you say, the buffer, the bottom line is stronger? It's going to put more heat on you to help people with cost of living. Is that student debt issue something that's on your radar?
Well, when the budget's released in May, you'll see that cost of living is the main priority, the main focus, just as it is about looking at areas for future growth and the future made in Australia, as the PM and Treasurer have been outlining. We've had the university review that's been handed to government. We're working through those recommendations, and they had a number of recommendations about how to make HECS a bit simpler and fairer. Indexation was part of that, and we're certainly considering it seriously. The Minister for Education's been doing enormous amount of work in this regard, and I think that's why you see the calls that we're getting from the crossbench about it, because the Minister has been working on this and talking with stakeholders about it.